Welcome to the Empowerment Shift podcast. I'm your host, Bojan Dobrev, and I'm here to help you unlock greater levels of awareness, clarity, and empowerment. In each episode, we'll dive into inspiring stories and higher perspectives to help you break free from limiting beliefs so you can navigate challenges with grace and step into a life of alignment and empowerment. Ready to make the shift? Let's get started. So for my first podcast episode, I decided to share a very personal story with you that had a huge impact on my life. Probably the biggest one of all the experiences I've had. And not only for me, but also for my clients, I have shared this wisdom and awareness with them while they're in the theta brainwave in deep relaxation. And it shifted so big within them as well. And I hope it will do the same for you. So here we go. It was the 25th of March, 2018. And I was just in the living room reading the book by Joe Dispenza called Becoming Supernatural. And in it, there's a chapter called Space-Time. And he talks about being outside of space, outside of time, not just in this 3D reality. And at the end of the book, he describes a meditation. Now you can buy his meditation from his website, or you can read the description in the book and then do the meditation by yourself, which is what I chose to do. So I went into the dark room and started meditating. I don't know if 5 minutes passed or 15 minutes passed, but suddenly I was in what Joe Dispenza would call the void, which is like this blackness, this source energy field of 0 point energy, or God knows what it was. And in it, I suddenly started having a sort of life review, that people describe when they die, they have a near-death experience, and then they come back and they look over their whole lives and realize what happened in different situations and why they responded a certain way. Well, me as a kid, I was extremely shy, and that's why I started my personal development journey from the age of 9. And I was afraid of being on camera. I was afraid of public speaking, but even simple things as being in a group of people and people looking at me, or being picked by the teacher to answer a question, I could not bear that. I was just super shy. And so I started having these flashbacks over my whole life. And with that came the awareness. It was like this telepathic message from this higher intelligence that the way I was, or the way I felt in all those moments, was because I had a deep feeling that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, whatever it is, on some level or a deep level, I felt I wasn't enough. And even though I know this is a very common thing for people to suffer from, and I've helped many clients with that, I never really knew that I had it on such a deep level. And so when I had this awareness, next thing I know, I got this huge vision of how the universal intelligence created everything in our universe, right? It created the galaxy, created the solar system, it created our planet, created everything on our planet, all the mountains, the oceans, the plants, the trees, the flowers, the animals, the humans. Everything was created by this human intelligence. So then the voice said, well, if that's the case, would you agree that it's impossible for this intelligence to be not enough? And I thought to myself, well, yeah, of course, it created everything, so it cannot be not enough. And then the voice said, well, this intelligence also created you. It is within you. It's all around you. It is what is beating your heart. It's what taking care of your lungs and respiration. It's what's taking care of your digestion. It's creating 25 million new cells in your body every single second, right? And so if this intelligence that is within you and all around you and created you is not enough, it means that by default, it's impossible for me to also be not enough. And that realization, that awareness was just so profound, because I realized that my whole past, where I was shy and I felt like something was wrong with me, that was all built on an illusion of unworthiness, the illusion that I'm not enough. But it is impossible to be not enough. So when I got this awareness, I just cried for 25 minutes, and I'm someone who never cries. I was looking back at my younger self, both as a child and as an adult, and I was just sending love and compassion to that former version of myself who felt he wasn't good enough. And it was just this deeply cleansing and healing experience that afterwards I knew my life was changed. I just knew to the core of my being that I'm no longer the same person as when I sat down on that chair to meditate. And I was kind of speechless for a while. I remember I just needed time to process this experience before I could explain to anyone. But I knew that also financially things would change. Because if I felt I wasn't enough, of course it would manifest financially as well, by not having enough in a bank account. And it's something that I had been struggling for many, many years. Well, actually my whole life, to be honest. And I knew that it changed in that moment. Now, of course, I was aware that I still have the momentum of the past and the way of thinking of the past and the beliefs from the past that were still going to carry themselves into the next few weeks. But at some point, things will shift. And sure enough, a few weeks later, money gradually started to come more into my life. I started to be able to save money for the first time instead of spend it as soon as it goes out. And thanks to that, I was able to finally afford to go to a Dr. Joe advanced retreat. And he actually happened to come to Mallorca, where I was living and I still am living right now, in April of 2019. It was just incredible. It was such a powerful, life-changing experience as well. I met incredible people that are still friends to this day. And because I loved it so much, I decided that I wanted to do another retreat. So then 2 months later, I went to his retreat in Cancun, and that's where I met my wife, Nicole, and had our daughter, Ayana, and we're about to have our second daughter. So fair to say that that one meditation really changed my life. And so the key takeaway for you is that just like myself, it is impossible for you to be not enough. You have always been enough. You will always be enough, and you are enough as you are. There's nothing you have to do, to be, or to have in order to be enough. You are enough, and that's a fact. That is the highest truth. I hope you feel this. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in to the Empowerment Shift podcast. Remember, every shift in awareness is a foundation for powerful change. If this episode sparked something within you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who could use a shift too. And please leave a review so we can spread this message of empowerment further. Together, let's create a ripple effect of transformation. Until next time, keep making those shifts, stay connected, and stay empowered.